Welcome back, everybody. Let's get into the other top story that's happening today. Former President Jacob Zuma's corruption trial resumes in the Pietermaritzburg High Court. Now, Zuma has yet to have the charges put to him following his legal team's application for the recusal of State Prosecutor Billy Downer. It remains unclear whether the state has finalized a response or whether arguments will be heard today and another early adjournment is likely. Let's now cross over to Pietermaritzburg. Our reporter Ayanda Mhlongo standing by to give us an update. Ayanda, obviously, we were on the live press briefing from the Minister of Health, Dr. Zweli Mkhize. I could see a lot of action happening in the corner of the screen, a lot of people arriving. Talk to us through what we've missed so far outside the Pietermaritzburg High Court.
Yes, Leanne, what we now can inform our viewers is that former President Jacob Zuma has arrived here at the Pietermaritzburg High Court. Of course, Leanne, when he arrives here, he often uses the back entrance. And so a lot of people who would have been eagerly awaiting to hear him or to see him when he arrives would have missed him because they've brought him through the back entrance. But we can confirm that he is now inside the court. And of course, Zuma supporters are continuing to arrive here outside the court at the Freedom Square, where there will be a gathering. We are also told that just a few kilometers from where we are at Dales Park, the ANC members and supporters of the former president have also gathered there, and they then going to march here to the court. And just to speak about what is planned and so far as the supporters and what we can expect in terms of those that will be addressing these supporters. Let me bring in now Pastor Vusi Dube, who has been responsible, part of the committee that has been responsible for mobilizing support for the former president. Pastor Dube, thank you so much for agreeing to chat with us. Obviously, a long night. We're with you.
Apologies, just trying to hear if Ayanda's mic does come back. So it looks like we've lost it there. We will, of course, go back to her outside the Pietermaritzburg High Court this morning. That's, of course, where, as you've heard, the former President Jacob Zuma has arrived. The hearing is taking place. Let's quickly go back to Ayanda. I believe that the sound is fine now.
Some of our marshals and MKVA guys, and we are going to be starting a march in another 10 minutes or so.
Very importantly, one of the issues, and I know you raised this yesterday, was a concern in terms of what happened the last time, where we saw supporters of the former president or members of the ANC booing some of the leaders of the ANC here. You've been clear today in terms of your message to those that are coming out here to support the former president.
In fact, we are very stand on that. We are very strong on that. The word from the president himself is saying anybody who's coming here to support Ubabu Jacob Zuma does not include or involve himself in any of booing the people who are leaders. The president himself has given us his word. If people are going to be booing the leadership, he's not going to take the stand, he's not going to speak today, he's going to march away. So we don't want to see that situation happening. It's not a threat, it's a reality of who Mhlongo is. We must remember, all this what we are doing here is showing forth the character of a man that we have come to support. So whosoever is doing something negative will be saying Mhlongo is part of it. We are very clear about that. We do not want any booing. We don't want disorder. We don't want the burning of t-shirts. Whosoever does that will cause former president not to occupy the stage. He will walk away.
Another concern has been the message in the last appearance when the suspended Secretary General of the ANC, A.S. Magashule, inviting people in the Free State and other provinces to come in their numbers. We're still, of course, concerned around the COVID-19 pandemic. Certain provinces have already now confirmed entering into the third wave. In terms of the numbers of people that you're expecting, there are a lot of mobilization. 3 provinces, we're told, the Northwest and Mpumalanga and the Free State, have large crowds that are coming through here today. How are you going to manage this?
Fortunately, we do not have a mass of people who are coming from other provinces. what we are looking at here, very few people will be coming from outside the provinces. A lot of people who are going to be with us here are the people who are localities. We are very concerned about COVID-19. That's why we have brought one of the biggest stages so that people are not cluttered around the stage. They can stand all over the park, but they must pick up the noise. We are emphasizing that they must wear their mask. We are emphasizing that sanitizing is going to be done. It's a difficult affair, but we believe because we are doing it for a good cause, we'll get the support of the people who are coming here. They are going to be in order.
Thank you so much, Pastor Vusi Dube. Is responsible, of course, for the mobilization of the support for the former president. And one of the things that he was mentioning earlier on, Leanne, when we had a little bit of a challenge with our mics, was that as the religious leaders here in KwaZulu-Natal, the interfaith, they are now going to be responsible for running the program, to take it away from politicians, to try and control who the speakers, as well as, of course, to try and avert the situation that took place the last time when we were here, where there was booing of ANC leaders, particularly those from the province of KwaZulu-Natal. Former President Zuma then speaking out and saying that people must not use their political differences here. This is not a place for them to voice out and ventilate their political differences, and whatever issues that they have amongst themselves as political party members, this is not the place for them to deal with that. And as Pastor Dube was saying, that he in fact has spoken to the former president, who said if there are any acts of that nature, if there is any booing, if there is any burning of the T-shirt, he is not going to address his supporters. Of course, while the focus is also going to be on what is happening outside the court and what the speakers are going to be saying, and all that all-important message from the former president, all eyes are also going to be on what is going to happen inside the courtroom today. Former president will be making that application for the recusal of state prosecutor advocate Billy Downer. Let me now bring in the NPA spokesperson, Mr. Sipho Ngwema. Mr. Ngwema, thank you very much for your time this morning, sir. Firstly, we just wanted to, you received the papers submitted by former President Jacob Zuma's defense late on Wednesday, I understand. Has the state had time to finalize its response?
Yes, we did receive a document from the defense, but unfortunately that document was not complete. They don't have the relevant annexures, they don't have the relevant supporting information that we need in order for us to be able to respond efficiently and sufficiently to the plea. And therefore today what we expect to happen is that they are going to plead in terms of their charges, but further they are going to tender therefore their special plea. But we are unable to deal with that special plea because it's then going to need us to be able to respond to it to get those papers. And therefore it means, again, and we suspect by design, that we have to postpone again so that we can be able to respond effectively. It's stealing time, it's killing time, it's kicking for touch. We are not going to the merits. We want to go to the merits. We want the accused to be able to answer to the charges that were put before them. They said they were ready, but everything else that they are doing doesn't support that. They want us to delay, and without getting to the merits of the case.
Mr. Ngwema, just speaking of delay, of course, some legal experts have said that this is quite a tactical approach, although the former president has previously denied the fact that, denied the accusation around Stalingrad tactics or delaying tactics. Do you as the NPA believe that's exactly what he's doing?
Accused number one is clutching at straws, and if you're looking at what they are doing is that they are kicking for touch. At the end of the day, as I said, we are not going to the merits. They are buying time, and they know the courts have pronounced on these issues. They know they stand virtually no chance in terms of how they have abused this particular section. So at the end of the day, we are not getting to the merits. We are delaying in terms of the application that they are bringing, but it's fine. It's within their rights to do that, but we want to get to the merits as soon as possible. We want him to answer to the charges that we have put before court so that we can lay this matter to rest, so that he can get an opportunity to answer to the charges. So at the end of the day, unfortunately, it means the defense is manufacturing another delay so that we don't get to the merits of the case.
From what you've read in the papers that he has filed, what is the basis of his argument around Mr. Downer or Advocate Billy Downer not having the title, no title to prosecute?
If you look at the paper that they've given us now, it's all conspiracy theories that the court have rejected before. It's issues that are being recycled, that have been said, that they could not prove, that were struck off papers in a number of court processes, and therefore there's nothing new in what they are bringing. And they know they are going to fail because those issues have no basis in fact, have no basis in law. At the end of the day, once also this round is done, we'll have to go to the merits, and we can't wait as the prosecuting authority to get to the merits of the case.
A likely postponement here today, Mr. Ngwema, as you have said. I just wanted to also get, from you. You have said that you are going to defend this, object to this as you feel. And of course, Advocate Billy Downer does have the knowledge. He has worked on this matter for over 15 years now.
It's a frivolous plea, and we are going to defend it, we are going to reject it, and we are going to convince the court that this plea has no basis, and therefore we must proceed and get to the merit. At the end of the day, what the defense is trying to do is to say to the court they should be acquitted because our prosecutor is not fit to try the matter. But if you look, even their paper, they are not saying that we have cooked the charges. They are not saying that we have manufactured the charges. Basically, in many instances, they are not denying that the things have taken place. All we are saying is that Billy is a fit and proper prosecutor who abides by the policy of the NPA, but also by the Constitution. And therefore, is a disciplined member of the NPA, and he has done this case professionally with dignity and respect. And therefore, the plea that they are bringing against him is just a waste of time. They know that. They are kicking for touch. They are delaying to get to the merits.
Mr. Ngwema, thank you so much for your time. The spokesperson of the National Prosecuting Authority, Mr. Sipho Ngwema, of course, explaining to us that it does not look like, Leanne, they are going to be ready today in terms of their response, as there is still some outstanding documents that they are going to require from the defense, the former president's defense team filing 141-page affidavit, which largely deals with, and as Mr. Ngwema was talking, telling us, that largely deals with raising past issues. In fact, he had, in a statement that he had issued from the NPA, used the words that this is a regurgitation of old issues. Once again, raises issues around media leaks, around the Browsmore report. These are just some of the points that the former president is raised in his application. Of course, those are going to be argued in court once NPA, it seems, has had all the necessary documents furnished to them. So as he said today, as legal experts had also indicated to us, that it is likely going to be a postponement. Many, of course, are saying that this is nothing else but a delaying tactic by the former president. We were speaking to a legal expert, Dr. Mkhuseli Vimba, who was saying that to us that what many people had anticipated in the last appearance was that because the former president had a new legal team, or last week introduced a new legal team led by Advocate Tabani Masugu and Tusini attorneys, this new attorney, Mr. Mondli Tusini, that they were going to need or request a further time to familiarize themselves with the case. Advocate Masugu, although had worked with the former president's previous legal representative, Advocate Moses Kakane, but that was only in the permanent stay of prosecution application, and it had been expected that they were going to require more time. Of course, that surprise move when they in turn said that they were going to file this application to seek the recusal of Advocate Billy Downer. Experts telling us that seems to be a different and unexpected move, while the former president is within his legal rights to exercise his legal rights, but they see it as a tactical approach on his side. More coming up from the Pietermaritzburg High Court. Leanne, it's back to you for now.
Ayanda, thanks very, very much. As you said, we will check in again with you during the course of the morning, I'm sure after the 8:30 news headlines. Let's quickly check in with